Welcome to the season of self-love, your daily dose of inspiration and encouragement. I'm your host, Nyomi Banks, and I am thrilled to be here with you today. This podcast is brought to you by Ask Nyomi and Elevate Me Self-Discovery. Are you ready to elevate your mindset and embrace the power of self-love? Well, you've come to the right place. Each day we'll dive into topics that will empower and inspire you on your journey towards self-discovery and personal growth. Whether you're looking to cultivate healthy relationships, boost your confidence, or find balance in your life, this podcast is here to support your every step on the way. We believe that self-love is the foundation of living a fulfilled and joyful life. And together we explore practical tips, insightful interviews, and transformative stories that will leave you feeling inspired and motivated. So join me Monday through Friday as we embark on this daily adventure of self-love. Tune in to the Season of Self-Love podcast to start your day on a positive note and discover the limitless potential within yourself. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is Friday, November 17, 2023. And welcome back, my beautiful listeners, to the Season of Self-Love podcast. And I am your host, Nyomi Banks. Together, we've been on a transformative journey, uncovering the layers of self-love and how it propels us towards our fullest expression. Well, today we're diving into a theme that is close to my heart, and it's embracing fearless living, stepping into your power. Fearlessness isn't about the absence of fear. It's about dancing with it and learning its moves, and that gently leading the way. So let's lace up our dancing shoes and prepare to step into our power together. Now, as usual, I have several different segments to help you along this journey of understanding fearlessness. So we're going to start off with understanding fearlessness, and then we're going to go to identifying the fear blocks. We're going to go over to overcoming fear, cultivating fearless mindset, and then closing it out with living fearlessly every day. So what I want to do right now is I want to take a quick break, and then I will come back and we will start off with understanding what fearlessness is and what it looks like for you in your healing journey. All right, it's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks, here on the Season of Self-Love. We will be right back. Have you ever felt like you're standing at the door to success, key in the hand, but something's holding you back? Well, you're not alone. My new ebook, Unlocking Your Door to Success, is your guide to healing and overcoming those internal struggles. If you want to learn more and step into your success, go to stand.store/elevate-me-self-discovery. Get your free ebook for a limited time. Hey, it's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks, and make sure you tune in every Thursday night to Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast, where we talk about everything from love, sex, relationship, cultural differences, and so much more. We're bridging the gap between them all, and we even talk about spiritual uplifting. You need to stop by me and Mike, as well as the BTG crew. We have some amazing guests that come through. You never know. Just make sure you tune in Thursday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go to AskNyomi.com and tell them Nyomi sent you. Hey, well, welcome back. I'm your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks here, and you're listening to the Season of Self-Love. And today's topic, we are talking about embracing fearless living and stepping into your power. So before the break, I had mentioned that we have different segments, and we're going to kick it off with understanding fearlessness. To live fearlessly is to embrace life with open arms, and even when those arms are shaking, it's about recognizing the fear is a natural part of the human experience, but it doesn't have to be the driving of our journey. So I'll share with you heartfelt stories of individuals who have looked fear in the eye and have chosen to step forward with courage, transforming their lives in the process. You know, ironically, this show came today because yesterday I had did a show for Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast, and we were speaking on hot topics. And there was a bombshell that was released yesterday all over social media, all over everywhere. There's a beautiful young lady by the name of Cassie. Cassie Ventura is her name, and she was an R&B singer. She is an R&B singer. I'm saying was like she had passed away, but she was in this 10-year relationship with Sean P. Combs, and she left him. I believe it was in 2019. But the news that came is that now she is suing Diddy and accusing him of years of rape, sexually abuse, physically abuse, and all other kinds of stuff. And I remember talking to my baby, and I was, explaining him what happened, because I was shocked that she even had the courage to say something, because she had been away from him, like I said, since 2019. She's now married with 2 children, and his first response was, "Why did she take so long?" And I'm not gonna lie, when he said that, that hit me, kind of blew the wind out of me, because I'm like, how dare you give someone as a victim a time when they should tell what's going on with them? Because I read that document. It's like 30 something pages long. And in that document, it is horrifying. So I cannot imagine the fear and the trauma that she's in, and the courage that she took to do this, to come before the world and be judged. If that's not fearless, if that's not her dancing with fear, I don't know what it is. And I commend her. But as I said yesterday, there's going to be a lot more things a lot more people that's going to be exposed, because there's a lot of people that are truly stepping into their fearless era. And this was time now for you to step in your fearless era. So whatever you think that is holding you back, it's time to step out. If this young lady can do that with all of the torment that she has, that she's been through, I know me, I know I can now truly step out. There's another one that Ellen DeGeneres. And why she's another one that I chose is because I remember back in the day when she had the Ellen show. She had a sitcom. I used to watch it all the time. I loved it. And it was all of a sudden she was off the show. She did play a mother, how it was back in the 90s, that, and then all of a sudden her show was off. And then I remember maybe a few months or a year later, she was doing an interview, and she had came out that she was a lesbian, that she was gay. And in that process, she said that she truly had to sit back and watch her life, that she had to sit back and just watch herself play this role that wasn't her. Meaning that she was playing someone that she wasn't. And so she had to find the courage to be able to step out, to be who she really is. But the problem is back then in Hollywood, there wasn't good with people coming out of being gay. No, that's something that you're supposed to hide, that you're supposed to keep under wraps. And she could no longer do it. But then in the process of her doing that, she's actually opened up the door for more people to have the courage to step and do it. She went on to have one of the most successful talk shows, winning several different Emmys, a great comedian, and all of that other stuff, because she looked fear right in the eye. And she had the courage to step into her truth. So that is my challenge for you today. Whatever's holding you back from doing whatever it is that you're choosing to do, whether it's to write a book, whether it's to start a course, whether it's to start a business, whether it's to leave a relationship, I challenge you to dance with that fear. Be fearless and understand that it's the betterment of you. It's the betterment of you to step out there, dance with that fear, and go ahead and take that courage and move forward. We just talked about courage the other day. We talked about a bit of fear yesterday. For me, I'm telling you, when I read those papers that from all of the documents that she had put in for Cassie, that she put in, I was just, oh my God. Like, oh my God. And then this morning on my feed, something popped up about a psychic that said that in November 15th of 2023, Puffy was going down. And will be just the beginning. I actually sat and watched the whole video. And I said it yesterday. I said this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. Just the beginning. All right, our next one is identifying the fear blocks. Fear comes in many shapes, sizes, often masquerading as a rational caution of even common sense. But when it stops us from pursuing the love and growth we deserve, it becomes a block. We'll delve into the common fears that tether us: a fear of failure, a fear of judgment, a fear of the unknown. And I offer you some tips and exercises to help you identify and acknowledge your own fear blocks, shining a light on them with compassion and understanding. So, as I mentioned before, is that, and I used it in this terminology, that I have the key in my hand and I'm standing at the door of opportunity and success. And have several times allowed fear to stop me from unlocking that door and walking into that room, whether it was a room of opportunity, a room of success, and even a room of healing. And why? It's because part of it is fear, a failure of fear. See, for me, when I look at it, fear doesn't just come by itself. It comes with an adjective with it. It's coupled with something. It come in as a couple. You know what I'm saying? So it's your fear of what? Your fear of failure. Your fear of what? Your fear of judgment. Your fear of what? Your fear of unknown. Your fear of what? My fear of being wrong. My fear of being right. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So I remember having this conversation, and I'm not going to say no names. And I remember I'm doing my jewelry line, right? And I always go to this certain individual and say, oh, look what I did. And this certain individual will always say to me, oh, well, you should do this. Oh, well, you should do that. Oh, you should do this. Oh, you should do that. Oh, it might look good with this. It might look good with that. It might look good with that. Like, oh, I used to do that, but I decided not to do it. Such and such. So it's like this. It's like to mind you some of the things that this person has never worked with, but they will look at you and tell you all the things that you should do, but they haven't done. And then you ask yourself, well, why haven't they done that? Because it's a fear of failure on their part. And I'm going to write about this one little topic in my book. And it's going to be funny. It's going to be eye-opening for me. Because as I say, even as we're forever healing, and it is something that comes up every single day to make me say, aha, that's what it is. So it better makes me understand others and why they do what they do. And so then I tend not to take it personal anymore. And it's like, oh, it's really not about me. It's really not about me. They're just using me as a mirror image of them, whether it's something that they thought about doing and didn't have the courage to do it, or something that's triggering them that someone's doing, if y'all understand what I mean. All right, so let me share a few a few tips for you to acknowledge and recognize the fear blocks. And yes, I am drinking my my tea right now. Oh, let me share this with you right fast. So this is a message that I received today. Find strength in knowing that you can make a difference in the world. Yes. I love that message. I love that message. All right, so let me keep going because I'm going off. All right. So identifying and acknowledging your fear blocks is an important step in personal growth and overcoming limitations. So here are a few exercises that can help in this process. You know, you can never do too much self-reflection. And, you know, take some time for self-reflection and introspection. Ask yourself what fears or limiting beliefs might be holding you back. So remember the other day, we were talking about that when I said, you know, write down what that fear is and what does it look like for you. Do that. Even if you have to write it down every day, but then write a solution for it. Write what you're going to do to remove that fear. And that's a part of journaling. Keep a journal to record your thoughts and feelings and experience related to fear. And as I said before, we are going to be repeating some things because they all coincide with each other. But we have to keep embedding ourselves with this. We have to keep telling ourselves what we need to do to change this mindset. And then the visualization exercise. Remember I spoke about that? Yes. Yes, think of something. Think of something that that can help you to confront and overcome that fear. So once you write down that fear, think, like I said, think of something that can overcome it. And then it's overcoming the fear. It's not a one-time event. As I said, you have to practice and you have to do it on a daily. So I have some strategies for you of facing your fears and for building the muscles and courage and resilience. I will share some techniques that have helped me and many others. You know, the breathing exercises, the mindfulness and facing small fears to build up bigger ones. And so for me, it's one that I love to do, and that's the mirror image. And with the mirror imaging, you can use that in so many different ways. For me, using it with fear is the revealing of my truth. And so when I look at myself in the mirror and I see this woman standing there, I say, who is this woman? Who is this goddess? And what are her fears? And then I say to myself in that mirror, we are no longer afraid of, and I say those fears. And the reason why the mirror, because you are looking yourself in your eyes, in your face, one-on-one. It's like a reflection of yourself as you speaking and talking to yourself. And you're training yourself with your eyes to look at that person different, look at you differently. So judgment is a fear of mine. You are no longer afraid of judgment. I, Nyomi Banks, is no longer in fear of judgment. The next one is cultivating fearless mindset. Fearless mindset doesn't happen overnight. It cultivated like a garden with patience and care. So here's a few techniques that you can do. The positive affirmation. Positive affirmation. And what that do is act as seeds of confidence. Again, using the visualization practices, because it will paint a picture of your empowerment. And then the last one is living fearlessly every day. Fearless living is a daily practice. It's in the choices we make, the small acts of bravery, the moments we choose to step out of our comfort zone. I'm going to share with you a story, and I think I said just a little part of it, but I remember when I chose to leave the industry. And the money was good for me there. But let me go and fast forward. Let me fast all the way forward. And I'm going to speak of this year, early this year. I chose to walk away from me making at least $10,000 a month with my OnlyFans. And I wasn't sure on how my lifestyle was going to be after that. And I was afraid to let that income go. I had to trust and believe that what God had planned for me, that was truly where I was supposed to be. And that's why I had to walk out on faith. And not a faith of God, but a faith of myself. That I had to trust and believe that I am and can do all that I have been gifted with. That I would use every bit of the abundance around me to create prosperity for myself and my family and for others. That I believe in everything that I speak when I talk about self-love. When I talk about Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast. When I talk about the season of self-love. Elevate Me, self-discovery. When I talk about, anything that I do from my books and all of that, that understand that those are teachings, lessons in the teaching moments for me to give to others. And that now my new life is going to be bigger than what I can ever imagine. So I had to get out of that wanting that lifestyle like that. And I needed to have a lifestyle that I can stand and not be shamed and not be afraid to just be free with it. So this is what I'm inviting you all to do. I'm inviting you to take a moment and, if you, excuse me, if you feel like sharing any stories that you looked at fear in the eye and you stepped out and you please share them. I would love to hear of you overcoming your fears and just living fearlessly every day. I truly do. You all can email me at elevateme@9999@gmail.com. That is 4 9s. That is 4 9s. I truly, because I love to just be inspired as well. I do. I truly do. And so I know this show is a little short today because I got quite a few things to do. But again, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for sharing this space with me, and just being on this journey. We've in today's episode, we journeyed through a landscape of fear, and we discovered pathways to living fearlessly. And I just want you to remember that each step you take towards overcoming fear is a step towards the vast potential that lies within you. So I want you to embrace the fearless living, and not just as a concept, but as a series of small intentional actions that lead a life of self-love and personal growth. And again, I want to thank you for tuning in and for just being a part of this journey. Your stories and struggles and your triumphs are what make this podcast a beacon, and I hope in empowerment. So stay tuned for the upcoming episodes next week. And don't hesitate to reach out with your feedback and suggestions as we part ways today and carry with you this message. You are powerful, you are capable, and you are worthy of life lived fearlessly. So until next week, I want you to step into your power with grace and courage. Have a good weekend. Thank you for listening to the Season of Self-Love podcast. If you have any questions or would like to connect with us, you can follow us on social media. Just search for the Season of Self-Love on Instagram. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, feel free to email us at elevateme9999@gmail.com. And remember, you are worthy of love, growth, and happiness. So keep shining bright, and I'll see you tomorrow for another episode of the Season of Self-Love. Be good to one another and yourselves, and always keep it sexy. Send a light, love, and prayers.